Oh,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Am I on the wrong side? Is that what we normally look like? Hold up. Now I'm confused. Which side are you normally on?
I
You
don't know.
normally on?
Do me a huge favor. Can you mute yourself in the Zoom?
No, not going to mute myself in the Zoom.
It's not that I
Third down
don't like
Thursdays.
your amazing voice. It's not. But in any case,
Good
all right.
evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Third Down Thursdays with Coach Bruce. I'm MJ. We have 60 minutes of sports chaos. I don't really know what we're talking about. We were having a meeting with a new team member, and so I have no clue what's going on. We are living the dream. Coach Bruce, how are you doing, sir?
Oh, dude, like you said, living the absolute dream. That's what I do. I love life. Life loves me. There's okay, that's actually kind of funny. So there's a really, you know what? We're not going to tangent. I'm not going to have the focus on me right now. Let's bring this back to you, sir. You were the
Hello.
one that was married this past Saturday.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful wedding. So I have to say right away that I loved it. It was amazing. You, Paige, killed it. She was beautiful. You were handsome.
Thank you.
Your dad was awesome. Your mom was awesome. Like, it was really good seeing them again, by the way. Beers were flowing, got that Coors Light going, and I was feeling great. So how are you now after a week of being married? Not even.
Yeah, like 5 days. I'm good. I had to come back right away from the wedding because Paige started med school on Monday. So
Congratulations to her, by the way.
yes, congratulations on starting med school. So she had orientation and stuff, so it wasn't
Fair.
it wasn't like crazy, but she still had to be there 8 a.m. Monday morning. So I didn't go back to work until Wednesday, which was very good. I got a lot of sleep because I did like 35 hours of driving in the 5 days that we were gone. The only day I didn't travel was the day of my wedding.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know how you pull that off. I
really don't either.
because I'm a huge baby when it comes to traveling. Like, so anytime I travel, no joke, like, I need to get a nice buzz going, and I need to get some good food in me. And then after that, it's like, okay, I'll meet up with whomever or whatever and do what I have to do, and then hang out and have fun. But dude, I gotta tell you, man, I respect the amount of discipline that you had and the amount of like, okay, I got this going. All right, gotta go to this. All right, gotta go to this. All right, gotta go to this. My ass was like, all right, let's just drink more.
Literally. And it was thankfully for almost every part of it, I had somebody with me. So Paige was in the car with me Wednesday when we drove up and Sunday when we came back. Thursday, I was driving with Owen. We weren't in the same car, but we drove in a caravan. And zipped in and out of Chicago traffic together, which was super fun. Then it was great because he's got his super nice car that you were able to see, and so he was leading the way for me, just going crazy. I know that you two are like best friends now, and you're mad that I held him away from you for so long, whatever that means.
I don't know what that is.
Whatever that means.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But no, he genuinely, like, you do have some, I keep saying genuinely, but you really do have some of the coolest, like, dudes that you have had the opportunity to be friends with during the course of your lifetime. So, like, it's pretty badass, and it was a lot of fun again. And dude, that guy, man, so fucking cool. So fucking cool. Like, really good dude. Really down to earth.
I love Owen. And I hope he's not in any way, shape, or form a talker for the most part. Like, he'll talk about stuff if you get him going. He's not a public speaker, which you saw during my reception. Matt talked, and then Owen talked for like 60 seconds. But I hope that in some way, shape, or form we can get him involved with Third Down Thursdays someday. I don't know if that's a possibility.
That might be.
But
one of the things man, maybe down the road we might see like a TDT racing or something like that.
honestly, and he could.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. There are some things that I think he could provide to the team. I don't know what that might be.
Well, he's already made.
He's a very talented person.
He's the first person that's contributed to the fund of shaving Richie's head. So
correct.
We need to. So we announced this last week.
Yes.
We are trying to raise $2,000 to a charity of Richie's choice about shaving his head. So if you guys don't know, and I should have pulled a picture, so this is totally my fault and the lack of planning on me. Richie has a shaved sides and shaved back of his head, but he's
a really stupid mullet
all up here, and he has a little ponytail. And God bless him, he rocks it, and he's got the confidence with it, and like he loves it. But there's those of us who can't grow that part here, and wanted to have an opportunity for us to kind of give him shit, but in a good way, and twist it in a way that will help other people less fortunate. So that being said, we are going to give us one more week. We're going to look into promoting and or getting, donations to the charity of Richie's Choice for shaving his head, $2,000. And I think we set a goal of December.
Yes, by the Packers-Bears game in December.
Correct.
The date specifically.
That's what it was. Perfect. All right. So what we'll do is we'll set up a ticker on our website. We'll set up everything there. And we'll go from there. And it should be some fun stuff. And I kind of can't wait for it. I think it's gonna be fun. But so last thing. Today, I didn't get a chance to talk to you about it. Sorry, guys. This lady barking. She usually does during the course of the show. But at least she's not pissing like Duke did last week. But
that was great.
That was hilarious. So today, I don't know. I don't even know why I wanted to share this. I was talking to some other buddies about it in my other group chat with some of the guys that I went to high school with, and had an awesome workout today. I think I sent the group chat for Third Down Thursdays. I sent it to our Twitter one, but I found the Michael Myers mask.
Yeah, you sent Richie and I that
while I was working out. And and I was like, dude, this is hilarious. So I did a farmer's walk with the Michael Myers mask. But this will show you how hyped I was. I took pre-workout. I usually take pre-workout before I work out. But I took it, dip my put it in the into the powder, put it under my tongue first, get that little, because it flows. It's supposed to go in your bloodstream. And then I pounded my the shaker bottle full of it. And man, let me tell you, when that hit, my eyes went and I was like, yep. I'm like, let's fucking go. And I'm ready for this show. So that being said, man, let's have some fun. It's gonna
have some fun.
It's a little serious, so we'll go serious because I wanted to touch on this one first. So if you don't mind,
yes, go for it.
Deshawn Watson. First of all, sleazebag. That was the first thing that I have to get off my mind first. The NFL ended up giving out in backstory. I'm sure everyone that's watching has heard about this, but I'm going to give the backstory. So while Deshawn Watson was a part of the Houston Texans, he ended up hiring masseuses, licensed massage therapists to give him a massage, and basically he would essentially expose himself and ejaculate around them during the course of said massage. They found out about it. Everyone knows the story. What ended up happening was they, a few of them, 24, I can't remember the exact number, 24 of them came together originally on the lawsuit, 22 originally on the lawsuit, came together to go after him in a civil suit. Then it ended up being, I can't remember the exact number. I wish I had it on me right now, but it increased. And then he ended up settling with the vast majority of them. However, it wasn't all of them. And then the NFL, so 25 cases. And then what ended up happening was you had a situation where the NFL was looking at their conduct policy with him too. So the Texans didn't want anything to do with it. The Texans were like, okay, take him. We don't need this. We don't want this type of situation in our area. And I totally get that. The Texans aren't out of my mind. So let's put the Texans over here for right now.
We'll get there later.
Oh, believe me, we will. So Texans are over here now. Finally, he gets traded to the Cleveland Browns, and like it's fitting because the Browns are absolute dog shit too. Dog pound? No, dog shit. So he ended up getting traded to the Cleveland Browns, which was fine. Go to the Cleveland Browns. The investigation goes, and the NFL, and I'm not opposed to this thought process. So what the NFL did, what the NFLPA did by having a third party person decide the outcome, or the judge to decide the outcome of this, I thought that was a great idea. In my mind, I was like, perfect. I'm like, they'll be able to review a situation that was essentially a sexual assault that happened. However, granted, there was no actual charges against him. It was just a civil suit. And that's a lot more, smarter mumbo, a lot smarter things than mumbo jumbo than I know. So fast forward, finally, the judge ends up making her decision, saying that there has been a set precedence ever in the NFL history for this. And they end up giving him 6 games.
And real quick, Bruce, let me interject for you.
Please.
The reasoning behind the 6-game suspension. I know it's infuriated a lot of people. Like Sai said, a lot of people believe he should have been suspended all 17 games. I think you and I both probably believe that as well.
Correct.
The reason for the 6-game suspension is really because of how the NFL and the NFLPA in their CBA set up this independent investigation. So Judge Robinson was told that there were, I believe, 5 cases that she was supposed to look at when it came to setting the disciplinary action for this offense.
Correct.
In those cases, there has never been a suspension for sexual assault or domestic violence from the NFL that has gone over 6 games. Correct. And so even though, and I know you read the entire report front to back, even though Judge Robinson said this is the most egregious behavior by any NFL player ever, she was a federal judge. And so because of that, she was not going to rule over what the case precedence was. And so even though a lot of people are very upset at her, I want to direct the anger away from Judge Robinson and towards even the collective bargaining agreement that set it up this way. Direct your anger there, direct your anger other places. Please don't direct it at a federal judge that did specifically what she was told to do and what she was trained to do during her time.
She did her job. And no, and I'm not disagreeing with that. The one thing I'm very curious about is why was it only 5? Why was there only 5 cases like that were done?
Yeah.
That was like, why is that appropriate? Like, first of all, like, so there's that saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if you have multiple women accusing this fucking sleazebag of a person to do this, she even said it in that paperwork. She even said that he is not allowed to individually go out and find a licensed massage therapist ever. He is not allowed.
He has to only work with team staff.
Correct. So that tells me that there was a history that she did see of egregious behavior that he shouldn't have been doing, and he's basically a piece of shit. And there was something that was found, but again, there was no federal charges. There were no charges against him, other than
criminal charges.
No criminal charges. Correct. That caused it. So, well, now we'll go back to this. The NFL, I think it was today, officially announced that they will be appealing. This is a whole sticky situation, by the way. This is going to get fucking bananas. So the NFL today decided that they will appeal the judge's 6-game suspension ruling. Okay, to be honest with you, yes. Good job. I totally want you to do that, because I think this guy deserves a full season, if not more. At the bare minimum, full season. Bare minimum.
Right.
So saying that, Roger Goodell was, the NFLPA agreed to this when they ended up signing their contract, which was, I don't know how many years ago.
2020.
Thank you. So in 2020, they signed their NFLPA ended up signing the agreement with the NFL and saying that, like, okay, Roger Goodell is basically going to be the end all be all with decisions if there's an appeal process. What I didn't know, what I just learned, not today, was the other day when yesterday actually, when you and I were talking about this, is that he can designate a third party to do it. And what I ended up saying to you yesterday was he's going to have it go to a third party, so he's able to save face. Which he did. So he can save face with not only the NFLPA, but he's able to save face with the NFL owners, because he's like, listen, it's a third party over here that's making this decision. He can suggest it. He could say, hey, this is what I think can happen. However, I think it's a coward's way out, all in all, to be honest with you. Like that, I agree. That's my 100% thought process on this. And to go back now to coward's way out, the Texans knew about some of the shit that Deshawn Watson was doing. And they ended up suggesting to him they helped him find some of the massage therapists that he ended up messing around with and trying to freaking basically show his dick off to. So I think it's ridiculous. I think the guy is an absolute sleazeball. I think Cleveland's absolutely fucking ridiculous. If you're going to take away draft picks from the Dolphins for tampering, if you're going to take away Calvin Ridley for a full season for betting, not even against his team and not even messing with it, the guy's on hiatus, for something else. If you're going to do all these things and you're going to suspend this jackass for 6 weeks, is absolute fucking bullshit. And you guys should be, the Browns, Texans, and the whole NFL should be ashamed of themselves. You guys are dog shit and fucking terrible.
Can't put it any better than that. No, I really can't. And the only thing that could somehow make this better, because Roger Goodell designated Peter Harvey, who is a former attorney general for New Jersey, and has actually done some work for the NFL before. He's been a advisor when it comes to some of the NFL's personal conduct policy. So he knows in and out specifically what the NFL's policies are. So I think he's a decent, absolutely, Alex. But I think, as good of a appointee as you can get would be former Attorney General of New Jersey, Peter Harvey. But I think the only good that could possibly come out of this is, let's say Peter Harvey does come back with a year suspension as the final ruling. The only positive that could possibly come out with this, and I'll give credit to Peter Bukowski on Twitter. He's a Packers beat writer. He made the point that there's a world in which stupid Bears. There's a world in which Deshaun Watson receives a full year suspension ruling by the NFL, appeals/sues the NFL, which means he can still play during that lawsuit
appeal process,
and it could drag all the way into next year. He loses, still has to serve a year suspension, and would actually lose the $46 million instead of the $333,000. And that's the only add-on I have, is for the Cleveland Browns, who knew what was going on. Because there's no way you trade for a quarterback, give him that much money, and give up that many assets without knowing every part of the situation. And they specifically gave him a contract designed so that he would get suspended and wouldn't lose money, because they wanted him to waive his trade clause to come to Cleveland.
I think he's only guaranteed $1 million.
Specifically makes me the mad.
Fair.
Okay, and then
I think go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I've been told in my ear that I don't know for sure how the CBA works, but he might actually not be able to appeal this. He could sue the NFL, but I don't know if he'd be able to play during the suit, how that works. Because I know during an appeal you can play. I don't know. I'd have to specifically look into if during a lawsuit he could play. Either way. The other thing is the NFL now with this has the ability to hand out a fine too.
And God forbid.
Former Attorney General of New Jersey, Peter Harvey, can actually hand out a fine with this as well. So that's the only other thing I have to add, is money is a serious play in this now as well. And that's how you hit.
Isn't it always?
that's how you hit somebody like this where it hurts is take away the money. That's when it's going to hit home even more than just a game suspension of whatever quantity.
I think he's only guaranteed $1 million this year, if I remember correctly.
Correct. And that's because
and there's a reason why Cleveland did
they gave him $45 million of it in a signing bonus.
Right.
So that he could get suspended and not lose anything.
He's such a
so that's what makes me more mad than anything on the Browns or the Texans front. It's
after
absolutely terrible, but it doesn't surprise me that the Texans helped cover it up and assist it, because it's their star quarterback, and that's how deep rooted some of these teams are into making money, into their stars, especially the Texans, who were so bad. Deshawn Watson was their only hope for the next 10 years. And so
whatever, go fuck themselves.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. So, I'm not trying to like take anything away from what you're saying whatsoever.
No, you're good.
It's just absolutely disappointing that you have, and I will say it, a historic franchise in the Cleveland Browns and a media, or excuse me, and a fan base that absolutely loves them and wants them to succeed. And like the dog pound is there. And I know I mocked it before. I totally did. But hey, my mom was from Cleveland, y'all. Just so you guys know.
Right.
More specifically Norwalk. But the biggest thing though is you want to see a team do it the right way. But unfortunately, now you're seeing in the NFL, they don't care. They just want to win. You have these owners that are getting freaking absolutely nothing happen to them after they do some bullshit. And it doesn't get reported. It doesn't get talked about. That they don't get suspended. You know why? Because they're billionaires. And you have their investments playing on the fucking football field that unfortunately for them, they're going to take the beating on everything that happens, whatever, whether that be Deshaun Watson being a fucking idiot or somebody else being like doing something other egregious acts. It's just disappointing all the way around. You want to see it be better. You want to see the system work for everybody in a way that is the right way to do it. But I don't know, man. It's frustrating all the way around. It's fucking annoying. And poor Browns fans, like you got to deal with this shit. But also at the same time, their front office are fucking idiots. I'm cool with people.
Also, not poor Browns fans, because I saw plenty of them running around for autographs at training camp with Deshaun Watson.
All right, cool.
So I'm not feeling bad for Browns fans at all or giving them any sympathy. I know there are plenty of Browns fans who are good people, but also at the end of the day, I know for a fact there are plenty of Browns fans who in 5 years, if they win a Super Bowl with Deshaun Watson as quarterback, aren't going to say jack.
No, of course not.
Any of this.
Of course not.
So that's the only other thing I will say. That's where I will end my comments, if you are good to move on. But I know you and I both wanted to spend a decent amount of time on this and not just ignore it and let it go into the wayside.
I have one more thing.
Yeah.
Until there is a substantial disciplinary action done on this, they will not be the dog pound. They're going to be dog shit to me.
All right, so we've got the Chicago shits and we've got the dog shit.
So speaking of the Chicago shits,
Justin Fields,
professional transition, baby.
Absolutely.
Right. So,
how good is Justin Fields on a scale of 1 to a cold Coors Light?
Question mark.
Question mark.
Okay. That's genuinely what it is. So one of the things that I did want to actually talk about with this and like the struggles that he had. So it was reported 2 days ago, he was kind of struggling at camp and he had, so there's a broken coverage play. So for people that don't know, and I didn't pull the video I should have. So go figure. He missed, I think it was Keneal Harry. It was Keneal Harry that ran a flag route. And if you don't know what a flag route is, it's like 10 yards into the sticks on the right corner of the end zone in this situation, or left corner. But in this situation, it was the right corner of the end zone. Broken play on the defense. Defense missed him, and Justin Fields overthrew him. It is what it is. It happens. It's not something that, whatever. However, as Chicago Bear fans, everyone fucking freaks out. They're like, oh man, the media is like, oh shit, like, he's looking like Trubisky out there. I still love Trubisky, but whatever. But but he's looking like, oh man, oh my God, what's going to happen? Like, he was rated as one of the best or the most accurate players coming out, or quarterback, excuse me, coming out in the draft 2 years ago. He was also, even last year, he was rated, according to Pro Football Focus, as like one of the most accurate players out of the pocket, and one of the best, like, hard percentage throws. I can't remember the specific terminology that was used for it.
Yeah.
I think it's exactly. I think it's one of those things where it's much to do about nothing. My biggest takeaway from this, though, was his reaction with the media and the fans in his presser after it happened. I don't know if you had a chance to see this, but
no, I have not.
He was very standoffish, and I know I can already kind of read his mannerisms in the guy that he is, which is awesome. He's very stoic. He doesn't get very high, doesn't get very low.
Yeah, he's not a super emotional guy.
Correct. And and to be honest with you, I love that. I love that as an athlete for an athlete, dude. I think that's great, because guess what? That guy's going to be the person that isn't going to be all fucking like, oh, I suck, or he's not going to be like, oh, I'm the best there ever is. No, he'll always be that, like a middle of the road. I heard the best expression today. I can't remember where I heard it from, but it was Chicago Sports Radio. He was his blood pressure is always at 120 over 80. That's that, like, he's always that same area. And that being said, though, I really wish I could have been like, hey man, like, if it's like an awesome Bears beat guy like Cam Ellis that joins our shows often,
right?
Or another Bears beat guy, Kevin Fishbane from The Athletic, whom we're still waiting to hear back from. Called you out. But it doesn't matter who it is. Like, you want him to be able to, or Jason Weeder, or whatever. Anyway, but you want him to be like, hey, hey, Kevin, like, thanks for your question. Like, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get better, every day. I could have been, we're learning the offense is a new offense and blah, blah, blah. Play that game. Play the game.
Right.
Don't come at the fans. Don't come at the media and say something along the lines of like, you don't know what we're trying to do. It's third. We're doing situational drills. It's 3rd and 4. We may not be going for a touchdown. Bro, I want you to be going for a fucking touchdown.
Right.
So that was just very disappointing, the way he ended up reacting to it. And like I said, I know you didn't hear it, didn't see it, but just the mannerism of that press conference, and I don't know what's going on in his personal life, because that could be attributed to it. But with that, that aside, and having him sitting back like this, doing if I was doing this, like, during the course of our show, do I really look like I'm like interested?
No, I can barely even see your face because it's behind your mic.
But that's what I'm saying.
Exactly. Yeah. I think Justin Fields has one of the hardest jobs in sports. And this is where I will give him the most credit that you'll probably even hear me give him all year. And that's prefaced by the fact that I've said a bunch of times, I still want Justin Fields to be good. Justin Fields has one of the hardest jobs in sports. He's taking over the quarterback position in one of the biggest cities in the country. The Chicago Bears have not had a good quarterback since friend of the show, Jim McMahon, right? Really? Jay Cutler was the best you had, but he had his ups and downs. The Bears have not really ever won a Super Bowl because of their quarterback. Because even when they did win, it was mostly because of the defense.
It was Sid Luckman the last time they won a Super Bowl.
Justin Fields is trying to be the first great quarterback that the Chicago Bears have ever had. That is an incredibly difficult job. He came from playing at Ohio State, where he had to be stoic, because Ohio State is one of the biggest colleges in the country. And if you say something stupid, the entire country will eat you alive. So I know that that's how Justin Fields has been trained to deal with the media. Does he need to change that and be a bigger personality and be the guy in Chicago now? Yes. But I'm going to give him a little bit of time to get there, because he's also, and I know he's focusing so hard on the product on the field that I'm sure that's all his mind is wrapped around right now. That's all,
and that's what I
processing power is focused on. And yes, that's what you want. And so I think I personally, and again, this is coming from not a Bears fan, but I would let some of the media stuff slide. We'll see what happens. If he's bad on the field and bad with the media, that's one thing. But if he can show significant steps everywhere, then I can understand how somebody who's been trained to be that way with the media just kind of defaults to that while they're working so hard on their game. And again, I will say he has one of the hardest jobs in sports, trying to be the first great quarterback in Chicago history when Chicago is one of the biggest media markets in the country. That's not easy to do in any stretch. And so, he's under so much pressure. He's under so much scrutiny, even more than Aaron Rodgers, even more than Tom Brady. Like, dude is under the microscope nationally because he's also supposed to be the guy. And then you get crap like that from people like Cy, who, not to go after you, Cy, but, there will be one bad game from Justin Fields, maybe week 3. And everyone's going to be like, well, Jimmy G's available. He could come in, manage this team. He could come.
So, hey, Cy, I coached him, right?
Oh, my gosh. Here we go again.
I'm playing. I mean, it's true. But
that may be the longest pro anything Chicago Bears rant you'll ever hear from me in my life. But give the dude some time. And I preface that with also, I'm trying to preach the same thing to Packers fans about Jordan Love, especially because, Justin Fields thrown into a bad situation. He really didn't have a lot of time to get used to being the guy in Chicago. He was told he wasn't, and then he was. And in Green Bay, Jordan Love has the complete opposite, where he's told, we don't really care about you for now. When you do get reps, it's just because Rodgers isn't here or whatever it is. So 2 guys with equally difficult situations, completely opposite ends of the spectrum, that both just need some patience from their fan base for the love.
I absolutely love the fact that you somehow pulled a Packer comment into this. I genuinely,
what can I say?
That was a very good way of just being like,
and by the way, we have the greatest quarterback ever, and Jordan Love sitting behind him, and he has a rough job sitting behind the greatest quarterback ever. Anyway,
we're gonna touch on that. Hold on. Oh no! Okay, so real quick.
No, it's okay. So if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it, and I can make this real quick.
Hold on, let me finish my Justin Fields stuff real quick. Sorry.
Yes.
Let me just finish touching on this real quick. So again, I think this is a product of frustration from him, and I completely get that because he was in a system at Ohio State that allowed him to have time to throw the football because he was constantly in a shotgun offense. And then he would wait 4 seconds because he would have Olave going over the top and just be like, done, touchdown. Because his deep ball is absolutely ridiculous. He had the time. And unfortunately, right now with the Bears, that offensive line is a rotation of who the hell knows. I mean, I did my best job of guessing on my article. But man, let me tell you, you don't know. So do I think he's still going to be successful? I do. To what extent? I don't know. But we're also comparing the fact that Justin Fields is just in a long line of quarterbacks that have come through Chicago that we've wished that would be successful. So that being said, yes, I did buy my Justin Fields. I have my Justin Fields jersey. However, I also have my Trubisky jersey. And hey, guess what? You know what? I said, screw it. I ended up buying a Tom Waddle jersey just because I was like,
oh, that's awesome.
I have a Walter Payton, Brian Urlacher, and some others too. So whatever. But in any case, you want, I cannot tell you how starving Chicago Bear fans are to see a successful quarterback that we could all absolutely freaking love. Because at the end of the day, this is a Bears town. And there was a previous comment. Oh wow. Hey, Harper College football won back-to-back junior college championships when I was there. So,
that's hilarious.
Real quick. Also, there's another comment earlier that was talking about, get it, MJ. There was also another comment earlier talking about the Bears moving out of Chicago because of the crime. It wasn't because of the crime. It was because, again, the mayor failed
to idiot.
Yes, but the mayor failed to communicate well with the Chicago Bears organization. And frankly, the Bears want to make money. They're renting Soldier Field from the city of Chicago. It is well known that it's the smallest stadium in the NFL, and the Bears want to profit off of it. And they want to own their own stuff. And for them to raise from the I think sixth or seventh most lucrative franchise in the NFL to probably the third to second most lucrative franchise in the NFL, they need to build their own stadium and be able to profit and bring that money in by renting it out to the NCAA for the NCAA championship, to the NFL for a Super Bowl, and to even WWE for have WrestleMania there for whatever. So.
Yeah, literally the only thing they can do right now is concerts, which is stupid.
Right, and it's in the summer. You're not going to have a concert in You're not going to have one of the best things they ever did at Soldier Field was have hockey there when the Blackhawks were good, and have what's it called, the Winter Classic there, which was amazing there, and Wrigley, but it was better at Soldier Field because it was snowing. That was a badass venue for it, and that's how it should be. That was fucking cool. But again, I digress. The Bears, they're going to Arlington Heights because they need to make that money, and they're setting. I'm going to say this, and I'm predicting this too, MJ. The McCaskies are setting up this franchise to be sold to the highest bidder.
Well, of course they are. Of course they are, and that's why they would want to move to a new stadium. You move to a new stadium, you finance all of that, and then you sell it because it's going to be at the highest value. And so, again, that makes Justin Fields' job even harder because he's trying to be the face of a franchise has so many issues inside of it, let alone on the football field. The poor guy has a lot going on.
You still have Ted Phillips a part of the
I don't envy him at all. Yeah, literally, it's ridiculous
too. Anyway,
literally.
But so that being said, MJ, we don't have it. It's not one of the topics.
No, we do actually.
Now we do. So hold on. I'm gonna and this again, and I will totally back away from this because you get super passionate about it, and people have been
set a timer. I can do this in 5 minutes.
I'm totally hold on. Let me go here. I will let the people that are watching. I will put this stuff up on the screen. So if they want to argue with you, I'll put it up on the screen. But that being said,
come at me.
Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, who is the best quarterback ever? Greatest or best? Go. I'm going to grab a Coors Light.
First and foremost, football is a team sport. There are 53 guys on the roster, 46 guys on the game day roster, 22 starters, even more. If you include special teams, you can put that up to 33 starters on an NFL football team. And over the course of his very impressive, very illustrious career, Tom Brady has for some reason been credited as the greatest quarterback ever because his teams have won a lot of championships. Don't get me wrong, Tom Brady is probably the greatest winner that football has ever seen, but winning is a team sport. So winning is a team statistic. It should not be viewed as an individual statistic. Now, something that I really love because it's come up recently, the only 3 first-round picks that have ever been stripped from an NFL franchise in NFL history, what's the common denominator, Bruce, between those 3 first-round picks that have been stripped? Tom freaking Brady. So you tell me who's the best, and I get told all the time from Bruce, talked to Eric about it before, from everybody, that one of the reasons Tom Brady is supposedly the greatest quarterback ever is because of his leadership. Now tell me this, not just you, Bruce, but everyone. Why would a leader be involved in 3 of the biggest scandals in NFL history? 3 of the scandals that have had first-round picks taken away from those teams. Now, Tom Brady didn't have a first-round pick taken away from his team with the Dolphins because he chose not to go there because he saw it coming. But if you're telling me that he's supposedly the greatest leader ever and he does things like that, I call bullshit. Now, moving on. When it comes to statistics, because people love pointing those out as well, when it comes to Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady specifically, you can argue Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, all of the above, and those are valid arguments as well. But when it comes down to Brady versus Rodgers, and I did this with Eric, you actually look at Aaron Rodgers has been a starter in the league for 13 consecutive NFL seasons. 2 of those seasons, he did not play fully. They combined to about 1 total. So when you look at Aaron Rodgers, 12 full seasons versus Tom Brady, 12 full seasons, Aaron Rodgers beats Tom Brady at every statistical category. Now, longevity is very important in the NFL, and I understand that. But when you take away championships, because championships are a team statistic, and you look at the greatest thrower of a football ever, the greatest quarterback ever, Aaron Rodgers wins that in any statistical category. Aaron Rodgers has the best passer rating of any quarterback with the volume he has had ever. How many times has a quarterback in the NFL played 16 games in a season and had 13 or more games with 2 touchdowns or more and 0 interceptions or less? Twice. Both of them were Aaron Rodgers. I can list off so many statistics, and it's not just because I'm a Packers fan. It's because when you look at the numbers, and I'm a big numbers guy, when you look at the numbers and you actually look at the numbers, not just look at the super pretty aggregate, Aaron Rodgers wins in every analytical category. And I don't do any of this to take away from Tom Brady. Like I said, he is the greatest winner ever for an individual player in NFL history. But when I talk about the greatest quarterback ever, the greatest thrower of the football ever, the eye test, which I know Bruce loves, and the statistical test, when you actually look at stats and actually look into it, Aaron Rodgers wins that as well.
Hey, real quick, MJ. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna sit here and sip on my Packers mug.
I've never. Hey, well, to be honest with you, I haven't seen one, and I'm not. So in our ear, we just heard, "Isn't the greatest winning?" Isn't that what greatest means? So
I don't think so, and that's where and I've had this discussion before. That's where I really do defer, because in my opinion, and I could break down the fact that Brady has had like 14 top 10 defenses in his career. Aaron Rodgers has had 1. He won the Super Bowl that year. Things like that, where football, and this really comes down to, this is a personal thing for me. Football is a team sport. Baseball is also a heavily team sport. Basketball is the one place where I will allow some ring conversations, because with 5-on-5, you can actually, one person can dominate. And you've seen that with Michael Jordan, LeBron, even Wilt, Bill Russell, guys like that.
Bill Russell, rest in peace.
Absolutely. Football, there are 33 starters if you include special teams. So you're saying one person, albeit a very important one person, is the only reason for success? No, it drives me crazy, because it disrespects the other guys on the team. So you've got guys with Super Bowl rings who are saying, screw you, you don't matter. You're not the reason we won a ring, even though they worked their ass off in practice for so long.
Why are you getting so heated about it?
Entire year.
This wasn't even a topic that we were going to do.
I know. It just makes me mad. It makes me mad because one guy, no matter how I actually feel about that one guy as a person, I'm sure Brady is fine as a human being. He's a very successful man. He's very intelligent, beautiful wife. Absolutely great life for Tom Brady. All the credit to him. I would love to have that life, 100%. But he gets credit for one of the greatest coaches of all time. He gets credit for some of the greatest defenses of all time. And I feel like that's disrespectful to those players and those coaches that went crazy and worked day and night, sacrificed so much in their personal lives just for Tom Brady to get all the credit because he's the quarterback. Screw that.
Oh my God.
And I'd say the same thing.
I love it.
Like if the Packers won the Super Bowl and it was 13-9, just to throw a number out there.
What about 10-7?
I don't like you anymore. That's all I gotta say. That was my rant. And
I don't even know if anyone knows that comment, 10-7, but like I know.
No, it's the Packers score against the 49ers in the NFC divisional game. That's what the comment was.
Hey, I still.
Anyway,
we
shall continue.
As Richie would say, any hoodles.
Oh, dear God, don't say that to me.
All right. Major League Baseball trade deadline ended up passing us, and I'll start real quick because I kind of want to do the Chicago end, and then I'll let you, because you're a lot more national than I am with this stuff.
Yeah.
So the Chicago Cubs, more specifically, were anticipated on trading Wilson Contreras and Ian Happ, and there was a lot of hubbub about it. And yes, it did make moves. Those are right now what I'm going to specifically talk about right now, only because there was a lot of conversation about Wilson Contreras and Ian Happ leaving. Even the Chicago Cubs let leak out somehow through their PR department that they were shopping Ian Happ. Well, the Wilson Contreras one was like, heard through rumors or whatever. You saw him upset. You saw him crying. You saw hugs in the dugout. You saw, standing ovations at Wrigley Field and whatever. Excuse me. My biggest thing about this, how do you come back from that? How do you, as a professional baseball team, how do you come back from that?
It's really hard.
Right. You have Jed Hoyer. Jed Hoyer did a really good job of talking about, we didn't get we didn't get what we wanted from it. We didn't, that's what she said too. We didn't get we didn't get what we wanted from it. There wasn't a trade partner willing. And I know there was obviously extenuating circumstances like with the Padres and what they did. It was just tremendous, by the way. And I'm sure you'll touch on that. But that was the first domino to fall, and they were willing trade partners for Wilson Contreras. And so that being said, I don't know how they come back from this. Like, are you going to extend him now? Because you have Ian Happ under team control for one more year, and you have Wilson Contreras, who's a free agent after this. So what the hell do you do? So you cross the town, you go to the Chicago White Sox, whom, by the way, I got to do it.
Sleepy Tony.
Knocked out on the job.
Oh my gosh! And that was in the first inning too. This wasn't the 12th inning of a doubleheader.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Hold on. Let's make sure we let everyone.
Oh my god!
All right. So that being said,
that's how Bruce B at 8:30 after playing a game of COD.
Bro, and then having a few beers, done.
He's sleep.
Done. But hey, dude, that's like 7. It was like 7 o'clock right there, man. Dude was tired, man. He went to the 4 o'clock buffet.
I was gonna say he's been up since 4 a.m. Right. He ate 7 cups of coffee this morning to just get him through batting practice.
But okay,
poor guy can't even make it.
That was his genuine reaction to what the Chicago White Sox did for the trade deadline too. Because
literally.
But I will say they've been playing better baseball as of late. And while there's a lot of my guys that wanted to see some movement, potentially a starter, potentially somebody, another, just something that would make, give a jump to this team, something to help them, frankly. But man, let me tell you, there was a lot of disappointment in the city of Chicago after all of that. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. And I'm still shocked that that guy has a job.
Yeah, it's really sad that he has a job. I'll be perfectly honest. So real quick, the Oakland A's, I honestly wish they would have had more of a fire sale than they did. They only sent Frankie Montas and Lou Trevino to the Yankees is really the only thing they did. And I really wanted them to actually, let's go A's. I really wanted them to actually sell more. But when the one really funny thing that happened was the Colorado Rockies, who were the only team not to make a deadline trade. First of all, Bill Schmidt in their front office was asked about this, and
it was because of the Chris Bryant deal, dude. That's the reason why.
Right? Like, first of all, fantastic deal. Let's go, Chris Bryant. Fade into your prime. The only reason you hit in home runs is because you're at Mile High.
No, he hasn't.
To
my knowledge, right now, he has not hit a home run at Mile High yet.
I could hit a home run at Mile High.
He has not hit a home run. And he was injured, and he had like a second child, so he was on paternity, and then he's on.
Oh my gosh!
In my ear, I just heard like this is the third time he's been on the injured list or non-active list, whatever they call it now in Major League Baseball.
Right. But, so their star child is not actually playing. They were the only team not to make a deal at the deadline. And Bill Schmidt was asked about this, and he said, and I quote, "We were also the only club to sign a player to an extension at the deadline. 29 other clubs didn't sign anybody to an extension," which for those of you keeping track at home is not true, because the Atlanta Braves signed Austin Riley to a 10-year, $212 million extension.
And good for them. And that was an awesome.
And good for them.
That was
great
awesome.
deal. That's actually really good value.
Yes, exactly.
Because if you let him go into free agency, he could probably get $300 million.
Easy.
So great value. But the Rockies, first of all, not do anything.
He's young.
He's pretty young.
Anyway, sorry.
Early 20s, I would say. So Rockies, first of all, didn't do jack. Second of all, they don't know what's going on. So it's just that's a franchise that I loved seeing their success in my younger years around the 2008 era. And I know it's hard for them to be good with how good the rest of the NL West is. But for the love, the people in your front office need to know what's going on in Major League Baseball, when I can tell you, as not a front office personnel member, what's going on and the exact dollar amount of an extension signed in the NL. That's just sad. I can't do it.
I agree. Well, I think that I would say the Padres totally won it all.
Oh, absolutely.
At the deadline. And like, you know what? So I didn't know this. So the owner of the Padres, and please correct me if I'm wrong on this, because I know I'm gonna F this up. The owner of the Padres is either the son or some kind of family member or whatever to the owner of the Dodgers. And I didn't know this. So basically, the owner of the Padres is basically saying "fuck you" to the family member of the Dodgers, and he's just saying I'm going after it. Let's do this. So please correct me if I'm wrong. Twitch chat, whatever, it doesn't matter. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's pretty incredible. I think it's hilarious. And now you know where this dude got it from. I love the fact that he's going for it, because I have a team that's 26 miles away from me or whatever it might be that I cheer for that doesn't want to spend money. They'd much rather spend money on realty or in land and stuff like that. Like we're freaking Dwight Schrute from fucking The Office, like to like make it better around Wrigley Field. You know what? Put the product on the field and then people will come out to that freaking stadium. They're going to come anyways. I get it. I know. I've heard the freaking, like the old school thing in the 80s. But no, anyways, like, oh, really? We're going to really.
I had to.
No, okay. So, all right, we're going to do that too.
No, we're not going to do that. You've done that plenty. We're not going to do that. That has nothing to do with the trade deadline. I just want to get you out of that.
I call them Crap Key. They're Crap Key Network.
But the only caveat I have to the Padres winning the trade deadline, which I think is pretty consensus, is the impact is a little less. They still have to sign Juan Soto to an extension. Now, I would assume
correct, but they have 1 year
willing to play there.
They have 1 year control left with them.
Yes, so they have time to work all of that out. But I think that they still win the deadline no matter what. But they really need to get that extension done because they can't have the same thing happening next year. They're still a great team, irregardless. But
irregardless isn't a word.
Yeah, I was thinking that as I was saying it. I was like, I thought regardless, and irregardless came out of my mouth because I thought the same thing. I apologize to my father, who's an English teacher. My bad, Dad. But yeah, I think.
I'm sorry.
The good teams got better. No, you're fine. I thought it in my head as I said it.
No, the reason why I'm pointing it out. Okay, so I'm sorry. The only reason why I was quick to correct it is because my mom would always say it. It would piss me off. And since it was my mom, I didn't want to say it.
Also, I could care less. It's I couldn't care less.
What?
When people say I could care less, that's saying that you do care.
True.
It's I couldn't care less. So you're saying you do care. Oh, okay. Thank you. Anyway, now that my grammar rant is over, what I do always want to talk about is ThirdDownThursdays.com.
We got some big stuff.
We've been adding some great people to the team. We got more people getting added to the team in the next couple of days. Even the people in this chat right now. Sigh. Cardinals kept all their prospects. Very content with our deadline. He's going to have an article on the Cardinals deadline and everything else tomorrow, which I'm very excited about.
Yep. We got Bearman Effect, this great article he had about.
Yes, my dad is an English teacher. And yes, Anthony Barr has just been signed to the Dallas Cowboys. And Alex told us about that. We got Wendell yesterday or today breaking down the free wide receiver market and how that impacts all of free agency, which I thought was really cool. We had Jack Gaffney, who just joined our team, with a great piece on Christian Barmore, the second-year defensive lineman out of Alabama.
Tackle, I believe, out of Alabama. That's on the New England Patriots.
Yes, breaking down that. Jackson ranting about the Cubs as well and their deadline moves. We've just had a lot of great stuff coming out. And I am always
and yours truly coming out with the
Chicago
I guess
Bears
Bruce
article. Wrote something too.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, the only one that is not qualified to write.
Yes, but we're trying more on TikTok. We're trying more on Instagram. We still need to tackle YouTube, which I'm just so bad at. But we also shout out to Zachary Smith, who joined the team as well. He's going to be doing some stuff in the content realm and also just helping us out with marketing because that's what he does professionally. So he sat down with Bruce and I yesterday for about an hour and just blessed us with some ideas.
We got some shit coming.
Yes. So we're going to be doing more on all of those fronts. So thank you, everybody, for sticking with us. I'm also just now in a routine at work. And so I am not dead every day when I get home. And so I can come home, do this for hours, and I don't feel like I got run over by a bus when I wake up in the morning. So
I'll let you know.
Very excited for everything.
I'll let you know my pre-workout. I'll give you my pre-workout so that way you can try some of that in my.
Oh gosh, yeah. Take that when I get home from work,
bro. You'll be like flipping tables. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right.
So yeah, very excited for all of that.
We got to run it. Fireside chat.
It's time for Third Down Thursday's Fireside Chat.
All right,
give us all of the chaos. How is everybody doing? What are we eating for dinner tonight? What are we drinking? What are we doing this weekend? Give us the rundown. I got a little screwdriver in the cup here.
My man.
Because it's been a long week.
Oh, wow. All right, I like this. 3 hours. Man, I'm going to tell you, I would have to pee a lot with the amount of beers I would drink.
Oh, my gosh. I'm trying to think, though. Could we do 5 to 8?
Actually, we probably could, but I'm not doing it.
Honestly, with the amount of we could start. Obviously, we'd start with 6 to 8.
True.
So I had mac and cheese for dinner. Okay, so the mac and cheese from my wedding, right?
Oh,
the food was incredible. Shout out to Tom, who Sai knows, our old boss. Awesome. First of all, great guy.
I gave him my card, by the way. I gave him my card. He wanted my card.
Oh, he told me all about that. He's like, Bruce was trying to give me some life advice. He looks at me. He goes, I think he was a little toasty, but Bruce told me that I could be doing better things with my life, and I just started laughing. I was like, of course he did.
Oh, he wanted to talk to me at first. He's like, he gave me.
Oh yeah, let's get that article.
Well, he gave me the life breakdown, and then I was like, okay, I'll help you out with it. So,
oh yeah, I love Tom.
I was hyping him. I was hyping. I'm a hype man.
With the mac and cheese, leftover mac and cheese from my wedding, Paige made mac and cheese grilled cheese yesterday.
Ooh.
So she put mac and cheese in between 2 pieces of bread, toasted it, and then we had tomato soup with it. It was incredible.
Paige.
Oh yeah. It was incredible.
We had orange chicken. Homemade orange chicken. I actually have a really good.
That's impressive.
No, I got a really
good. Do that.
So no, I have a really good recipe for that, Mike. So I appreciate you posting this. So that's going to be starting. So I'm going to officially announce it right now, MJ. On Sundays, we are going to do a hour before football games, 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, noon Eastern, and then whatever everybody else is.
11 Mountain Time, 10 Pacific. Specific.
But so we're gonna do a show, but it's not gonna be a traditional type show. We won't be. I mean, I'll talk, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be about the food that we're eating or cooking or whatever. And
it's the whole team.
It's the whole team. It's everybody. We're all gonna be whoever wants to be a part of it.
Yeah, everybody's got to invite every Sunday morning.
So
we're gonna hang out for an hour before the NFL games start because screw the Fox pregame. I love you, Terry. I love you, Howie. But Bruce and MJ are better. And so we're gonna
the TDT family is better.
So we're really gonna try. Obviously, we're starting from the bottom, but we're gonna try and challenge some of the conventional pregame shows. We're obviously
started from the bottom. Now it hit. Sorry.
Yeah. You need to get that Aaron Rodgers video on here. You need to get that Aaron Rodgers video on here.
Oh, I know which one you're the one.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna do that for an hour before every NFL. So Paige and I are gonna be in the kitchen in our apartment. And one of the things Bruce, your wife, actually said, which I love, is we're gonna be able to have. We have so many different areas. Of life. We got people in houses, we got people in apartments, we got
East Coast, West Coast,
children like Cy,
Midwest,
we got everybody,
we got
all the different kinds of food. So we can bring in so many different types of people with their food interest, with their life areas, everything. We'll talk about life, we'll talk about football, and y'all can sit down with us there instead of watching the Fox NFL pregame show because it's the same pregame show every week. Nobody cares. There's no food.
Those Sundays, I usually start drinking around like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Beautiful. So Bruce will be hammered already.
Oh, I'll be gone. But I make some
fucking great.
I make bomb ass food, so I can't wait for.
But you'll also get a little bit of insight into everybody's lives because the ladies will be on there.
Yeah, and then
yes.
And we also do we do. So I have a really good friend of mine. Well, actually now 2 of them in the area that we're going to be like rotating house to house to house to house. Yeah. And we do this thing called a driveway gate, not a tailgate, but a driveway gate. Yeah. So what we end up doing is like going to someone's house and just hanging out in the driveway, cooking, like, grilling and like drinking beer, getting drunk and like listening to music and basically acting like fucking fools. Yeah. But
exactly.
No, I love it.
So yeah, I'm really excited for that. Not to cut everybody off from all the fantastic conversation.
Love it.
Yeah, I know Cy doesn't cook. Okay, Cy's gonna have his cat. Really?
You would be a cat guy, dude.
That's the only cat he's getting.
Oh no! End it.
Third Down Thursdays. Coach Bruce and MJ. We'll see you guys next week. We love you all.
Yes, sir. Hey, MJ.
Yes.
I love cats.
I bet you do, Bruce.
My wife's. And that's it.